Okay, so we got some piano tuning in the background. And yesterday I got out of my lane a little bit to tell about some history that Woodrow Wilson had covered up, basically omitted, just trying purposely to basically not let people see how great the blacks have been in our history. But today I'm back on course and I'm going to talk about the Bible and the renewed mind. Because most people, including, well, I think basically all of us, have no clue of the power of the renewed mind. Now, I could say, okay, you can use the power of the renewed mind to cure cancer, and somebody that didn't have a clue about God would try to do what I say and not get cured from cancer, and then I'd get sued. So, I mean, it gets ridiculous out there. I understand that. But let me tell you, the power of the renewed mind is that amazing. And I can tell you this incident, this happened quite a few years ago to a friend of ours. His name was Carl. And he was he was just solid on the power of the renewed mind for healing. And he fell off a ladder near the roof, and his wrist was this broken. His hand, literally, his hand was laying flat back against his hand, backwards. I mean, the wrist was broken that much that his fingers were touching the back of his hand. And he says that he just stayed in his rocking chair till about 5 a.m. debating with Satan, because he knows what the scripture says. It says, by his stripes you were healed. And so he decided that he wasn't going to put up with a broken wrist. First of all, he was scheduled to go to Romania in 2 weeks, and he couldn't afford it. And so he sat in the rocking chair, and as he put it, he debated with Satan until 5 a.m. when he got his peace. Literally, he just determined that the wrist was not broken in spite of the fact that his hand was laying backwards. Well, of course, he held it back where it was supposed to be. But what happened was he continued saying that and declaring his healing and refusing to acknowledge that it was broken. And when he got his answer of peace, he went to sleep. He was fine. And 2 weeks later, he was in Romania with a healed wrist. Now, it got ridiculous there too, because he said at one point their car that they were in was stuck in the mud, and this other pastor told me this story. But Carl backed up. Now, when you're pushing a car out of the mud, you have to hold onto that car and push steady and just keep pushing. You don't back up 10 feet and then run at the car and shove it all of a sudden hard, which is what Carl did, which made absolutely no sense. And Pastor Paul looked at him and said, well, what were you doing? He said, well, all that pain of a broken wrist started to come back, and I just was going to let Satan know that I wasn't buying it. And so that when he pushed that hard and that suddenly against the car, you can imagine the pain that might have happened. But that's what he did, and he never had to face a broken wrist. He was completely healed. That's amazing, isn't it?